Try again.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Something happened there.
Went on.
Right. Okay. So this one is going to go out unedited, completely unedited. So welcome to Bow Ties and High School. Myself, Ashley, and young Edward.
Hello, good morning, young Ashley.
Young Ashley, yeah, and young James.
Hello,
Now,
young both. How are we?
and you know what? I'm just looking very plain and boring here because I think we've got the right attire here for James. James has got something on. I
Oh,
think he's. I mean,
there we go.
obviously he does wear things. I mean, when I say he's got something on, I mean he does. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, let me see that.
Oh,
There
there
we
we
go.
are. Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah.
And Edward's got a background. And I've done my homework this morning because I was up at the silly o'clock, considering it's a Sunday. So I watched it, and then I said, yeah. So I'll tell you what I think in a moment. So James, you went to see this recently in the theatre, I
I
believe.
did. Yeah, yes, I saw it here actually at the Bridgewater Hall in God's own city. Well, Salford technically, I suppose, but Manchester. Yeah, it was great. I've never seen it live up close. It was the 50th anniversary of the movie tour, and yeah, you had Brad. Brad was there, Magenta, and Columbia were there doing a little Q&A beforehand, and then we watched the movie all together, and there was a live shadow cast underneath the big screen, just performing the scenes to go along, and it was an absolute blast. It was so much fun, and a load of people were just there casual, but an awful lot of cosplayers and people dressed up and having fun, and all of the yes audience participation that you will know is customary in Rocky Horror. Is It was there. It was great fun, and my other half had never experienced anything like it before and not really seen the movie before, and was completely baffled with it all, but still enjoyed it. It was great, huge fun. So yeah, that's why it's been in my mind lately.
and also you sort of went in costume, didn't you?
I did, yes. Not the costume I wanted. I wanted to go as Frank. I do have all the gear for Frank, but yeah, a sense that I never thought I'd hear myself say my fishnets ripped at the wrong time, and a little too drastically to get away with it just being a little avant-garde look. So I had to go as the criminologist. Had to go as Charles. Charles jumped to the left, Grey instead. Um, but I don't care. Still in costume. I loved it. It was great.
And we all love Charles Gray. Who doesn't love Charles Gray?
Exactly. Yes.
Do you know what? My memory is getting absolutely shocking. Did I even introduce the fact that we were talking about Rocky Horror? No,
No.
I don't even know. No, no.
You,
Okay,
you
we're
introduced
talking.
James's t-shirt.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
do.
Oh, well, guess what? We're talking about Rocky Horror, guys. Well, James is obviously giving us a little bit
Mm.
of a briefing there about that. But yeah, I watched the film this morning, and okay, I think I'm probably as baffled as your wife, James. Really, I
Have you
don't
seen
get
it
it.
before? Have you seen it
Well,
before?
I've seen the snippets of it. I've tended to watch clips more from the stage show. Yeah, I mean, I suppose I can tick it off my list of things that you should see, but I don't think I'll be revisiting that list. But anyway, I'm glad that you enjoy it, guys. I'm glad that you enjoy it. I mean, it was very, from a let's think of the positives. Well, not the positive. I mean, there's lots of positives, but it's scrubbed up well. Let's say in HD, it was very colourful.
Mm-hmm.
Lots going on. I think me. I think for me,
Oh,
maybe
hang
if I
on.
went to go and
I've
see this show. Sorry, what have we got?
I've got a wasp in here. I'm going to hit it with one of
Oh,
my books. Sorry. Cruelty to wasps. I do apologise. A first edition, too, of one of my own. That's how
oh.
seriously I took that.
And he's not usually prone to acts of violence, but it's just because of my critique so far.
Yeah.
um, I think if I was watching it as a show in like a theatre, I think I'd probably enjoy it more because I think it is a live performance type thing. I think that it would work better in. But the film, I did see a few people in there that I didn't expect. You know, Christopher Biggins is in there. I didn't know he was in it. Um, And then, well, I say I still didn't expect at the beginning, like, because am I right in saying that Richard O'Brien's in it in a couple of in more than one role? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I was just thinking, Christ, Richard O'Brien has just hired people that look very much like him. So okay, that's fine. Cool. Yeah, great songs though, great songs on them. So, but I think it was a, I went down a rabbit hole into Richard O'Brien's mind, which I don't need to go down to again. And all I'm going to say is, let the fans commence and get me out of here. But we're all different, and that's why I'm going to hand over to you to talk about the positive. I mean, I'm saying it's negative, just for the record. But yeah, ticked, watched, seen, done. Right, over to the Rocky Horror lovers, which I know that you guys are. So and so will people that are listening to this. Uh, Edward, what are your thoughts?
Hello. Do you know what? I know this film so well. I haven't had time to watch it this week, but I've seen it so many times. I could probably do it for you now. First saw it, I was still in sixth form when I first saw it. It was shown in the cinema, the old Palladium in Llandudno, which is now a Wetherspoons. But went there, midnight showing. Didn't know what, because back in the day, unless you were in or in the fan club, you didn't know what to expect. All I was told is it's the most fun musical you'll ever see, and I absolutely loved it. Went out the next day. I bought the cassette of the soundtrack the next day, and I've loved it ever since. Went regularly. It seemed like every weekend when I was a student to see it in because there was some cinema showing it somewhere. Um, but it's just not like anything else in a cinema. It's almost like panto season all the time in the cinema. The people who love it absolutely adore it. I mean, it's got a fandom as much as Star Trek, Doctor Who, James Bond's got it. It's got the, but it's a very inclusive fandom. It's a very, you know, everyone is welcome. In fact, there doesn't seem to be any gatekeeping. There doesn't seem to be any nastiness in it. It just seems to be, you want to love Rocky Horror. If you've seen it, never seen it before, if you've seen it 500 times, you're as welcome as the next person. It just seems to be that sort of atmosphere in the fandom, which is absolutely brilliant. The songs are wonderful. They're sort of reminiscent of 50s. I mean, the whole thing is a satire on middle class McCarthyist America and the social attitudes they're taken to the extreme. You said Meatloaf's playing like a 50s bike. It all has a sort of off-kilter 50s feel to it with the 50s style rock and roll. Brad and Janet, even though it's the 70s, they're sort of still dressing like their parents because it's never specified which. No, it is. It must be because Nixon was on resigning on the radio, so it must be early 70s. But they're still so from such a conservative backwater that they're still dressing like it's the 1940s, 1950s, and their world's completely blown apart by Frank and his guys, and they're changed forever and probably changed for the better because they learned to don't dream it, be it. This is my copy of it. I love it. It's my steel book of it. And on the back, there are instructions of how to do the time warp, which is amazing. Yeah, it's one of those I will never ever get tired of it, no matter how many times I watch it. I'll never ever get tired of it. It's just something that genuinely, as soon as you hear the boom, 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 it brings a smile that starts in the pit of my stomach, and you can't help but sing along with it. And if you go to the cinema and sing along with it, you don't have to sit there. You can sing along with it. You can just enjoy it. You can be yourself watching this film. Whoever you are is fine. You can be yourself. For 90 minutes this film's on, the rest of the world doesn't matter. You are part of the Rocky Horror experience, no matter how many times you've seen it. And I'm going to tell you a little story, my Rocky Horror claim to fame. I once spoke to Patricia Quinn on the phone. Yeah, I was manning the main desk at a Monopticon 1996, and she was a guest because she'd been in Dragonfire. Yeah. And the phone rang on the desk and reception, and I answered, "Hello," and I got this, "Hello, to whom am I speaking?" And I said, "Oh, it's Ed on reception," and I go, "Oh, Ed, darling, it's Pat Quinn here." I thought, Patricia Quinn's on the phone with me. Yes, Ms. Quinn, what can I do for you? Well, I'm not sure what time my turn's on, so if you could be a darling and send somebody up with the schedule for the day, that'd be lovely. Ed, you are wonderful. And that but I didn't get to meet her because I was manning things, but I've spoken to her on the phone. So yeah, that's my Rocky Horror. But Rocky Horror, wonderful. I don't know. Have you seen the latest documentary on it?
Mm, yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember what it's called, but doesn't Richard O'Brien come across as
Is
the nicest man ever?
he really does? Is it Strange Journey?
Strange
Um,
Journey, that's the one. Yeah.
yeah, and it's great. And yeah, I learned a lot more about him. I mean, I had many assumptions about him. Shows you should never make assumptions about people. But yeah, I had a lot of assumptions about it, but which were proven untrue. But he was, yeah, he really lovely, lovely guy.
Yeah.
So that was lovely. That was great. Nice to see Tim looking strong and well stronger, um, looking better and conversing with fondness about it. I was just talking to someone the other day. It might even have been you guys last week when we were chatting. You kind of you there was all that talk, and Richard O'Brien wanted to do the sequel, and Tim just said no, we'd done it. That was the end. He played Frank on stage for years and doing the movie. He didn't want to do it anymore. Thought it was the end of the character story. And I would have loved to have seen the sequel. I think I'm kind of glad we didn't get one. I know we have the unofficial ones, shock treatment and stuff, but yeah, I'm glad we stuck with that. Yeah, it's everything you said. It's just crazy because it appears extreme and in your face and wild and everything, but it's ultimately just about being comfortable who you are. And I think, culturally at that time, I think it was hugely important. And there's all manner of people who said they felt, they came to accept themselves in terms of the sexuality, identity, whatever, because of that show, which is an amazing thing to be able to give someone that freedom. It remains important in that regard now, and it is underneath any messages or on top of any messages, whichever way around. It's just great fun. So you can watch it and come away with no deeper meaning at all, or you can go there and it can be the most profound experience of your life, but you've just had a really good time to some amazing tracks. So yeah, one of my faves. I love it.
Yeah.
They're all great, and aside from obviously a couple of roles, the movie cast were the cast who had been doing it on the in London in the theatres for a long time. I think they've done it in America as well, some of them at least. And that was great because I know there was pressure someone to have Mick Jagger or Bowie play Frank, and the directors, Richard O'Brien, were quite firm about it and said no, they wanted Tim to do it. Most of the key cast there, Patricia, Little Nell, Richard are still there, and that's really good. I think Brad had done it. He's seen it because he was telling this story at the event a couple of weeks ago as to how he got the part. It wasn't just that he rocked up, auditioned, and got it. He went to see the show when it was on in LA quite a few times, and he was friends with people in the cast. And he said I don't know what context it was. He said he'd gone to watch it, and they were talking about him maybe being in the film. And he sat down at, in one of these dinner jazz places, venues where they were showing it. He said, I suddenly looked down and realized somebody was sucking my toes. And it was his mate in the cast was just there sucking his toes. He said, and I thought to myself, I'm in the right place. Okay, great. So I love that. I love that it's got that. It feels exactly what you were saying, Ash. You might enjoy it more if you're watching it as a live show because it does feel like you're not watching a big budget movie. You're watching a stage show that just happens to have been filmed. Clearly made for Tuppence Halfpenny. Poor old Susan apparently got pneumonia for filming in her underwear most of the time. but I think it's a great laugh, and I love every second of it.
And you said about it being on stage. It done London, it done LA, and there was the New York press destroyed it for New York before it even came on. They said because they had a snobbery, how dare they go to LA? How dare they get good reviews that isn't for the New York press? So they just wrote, they wrecked it, didn't they?
There's I've seen a bit on TikTok about it. There's they're doing a turn on Broadway. I think sometime the end of this year or early next year, and that it seems to me that that kind of snobbery is still there because the production team, the managers, the producers, keep releasing statements trying to dissuade people from doing the audience participation stuff. That we expect people to come to us, the serious theatre and respect the actors on stage, and you're like, it's Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the whole point of it. Is you go there, it's
a party, isn't it?
It's the party.
It's a party.
And I'm sure the actors know that. If they know anything about the roles they play, they'll be okay. Just because you're Broadway, don't make you special. So there we are. So that's still going on, that snobbery. Just look, you love it. You want to get the money from it, clearly, but you don't actually want it to be what it is.
And Richard O'Brien also statue of him in his hometown as well, which is in. He's dressed as he is with the alien gear in the end with the ray gun and the funny quiff thing on the back of his head. But yeah, he said, who'd have thought it? He used to be. This is where he used to sweep up in the hairdressers, and now there's a statue of him there.
Yeah.
It's just awesome, and just like as I said, I think I don't. I'm done with celebrity. Really, I can't be bothered with Comic Con thing anymore. But I think I'd make an exception for Richard O'Brien, like I made an exception for Brian Blessed. I think he's someone. If he was doing a signing, I'd go to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
And
Ash?
just for clarity, guys, as well, because I realised about my comment before. I think when I said I think I'd enjoy it better if it was a show. I mean, obviously, I did know it is a show. Just for anybody who's listening, I don't think I'm very awake this morning, to be honest with you. But yeah, I'm just saying. I think if I went to watch it, the theatre production of it, I'd probably enjoy it more than watching the film version. But who knows? Who knows? We'll wait and see. Might come to the theatre close by here. By year? That sounded very.
You sound very mid Wales there.
Yeah.
You sound very Welshful there. Yeah, very mid Wales.
Mid Wales by year. So on that not on that bombshell. That's what I say at the end. So okay, well let's talk about the film then for a second. So we're going to score it now out of 10 because that's what we do. Calculator, Edward.
Ready.
Good stuff. Edward, your score.
10. No hesitation.
I'm going to go with a 6. And James, I
don't think there'll be any surprise. Yeah, I'll have to give this one a 10.
Oh, I thought he was going to say 7.
Not a chance. 10 all the way.
8.6.
8.6. Well, even with someone in the camp trying to ruin everything for you, that's not bad. So, hey, and on that bombshell, we've been Bow Ties and Cool. This is going out straight away after it's converted, unedited. So see if you like it on. We'll see. See how it goes, guys. I've been Ashley. Goodbye from me.
And don't dream it, be it from me.
And it's a jump to the left from me.